Good. Hi, Will. Thank you for sending in your tasks. Glad you've got on board with the essay pack. Okay, let me tell you how we work. Normally, you send in one task one, one task two, and I'll correct them. You look at my feedback, and then you do the next ones, okay? Otherwise, you're in danger of just making the same mistakes again. What I will do today is correct both the task ones and your first task two. Okay. However, the second task two is much, much too long. So you're going to have to edit this. This is your job. It's a really important part of the essay writing process. You need to get this down to 400 words maximum. Okay. Uh, you may be an incredibly fast typist, but you have 40 minutes to do this. Um, the danger with writing something so long is number one, you won't have time, and number one, the examiner will get cross and stop marking it because you are so far over the word count. Okay, the guidance is above 250, so maximum you want to be aiming at 400. So I'd like you to edit that down and then resend it to me, that second task too. Okay, so take on board the corrections before you keep writing more. That is the ideal. Okay, so pie chart, here we go. And should you sort of fluff or should you try and add details? Good question. Essentially what you want to do is exactly what they say here, which is select relevant data. So you're not going to tell me everything necessarily. Here you can, but you can't always. Select and report the main features and make comparisons where relevant. The comparisons is really important. So the pie chart illustrates French agricultural production by percentage. Yeah. The crops included are, so yes, that's okay. Yeah, good. At first glance, there's almost a 50-50 split in the production of food and commodity crops. The grain and maize represented above contrasted against sugar and cotton. Um, yes, the production of food and commodity. Okay, the grain, yeah, good, nice. It's notable that grain and maize represented as 45% of the total, while commodities such as cotton and sugar contributed a combined total of 55 towards the total. Okay, this is getting a little bit um, um, it's tricky, Will, because it's really good what you're writing, obviously, but in terms of what they want, all I can do is tell you what they want. Okay, it might not be what you like or I like, but let me do my job and tell you what they want. They want the highest. They want the superlatives. The highest, the most, the greatest. Yeah? Uh, the greatest, or sugar was, for example, sugar accounted for the highest share or percentage. Okay, they want superlatives. They want these contrasting words. Whereas, what was the smallest one? Um, um, the lowest or the least harvested crop. Okay. So they want these things. So superlatives and these contrasting words. Whereas, as long as you get those in there, then the rest of it doesn't matter so much what you do, but you cannot give a personal opinion. So be very careful you don't get into, oh, the weather was bad, that's why the crop wasn't very much, kind of thing. Okay, so normally, yeah. So rather than saying at first glance, I would use the word overall, which kind of is the introduction to your like overview. Okay, so overall, and then there was. You need to have past tense in there because it's 2017. Okay, because you've got past tense there. Where represented. So you've got represented. So you could have amounted to. So mix up your vocab. Okay, and then so you want to try and get these sentences in. So corn and sugar contributed the highest. So rather than combine the highest total, so get some of that vocab in there. If I just underline that, then you can see the sort of language that we're aiming for. The largest component by far is cotton. Okay, so you don't need this. This is a bit blah, blah, blah. Okay. So cotton contributed, past tense, 34 to all crops, while the least grown was corn. Yeah, which comprised 1/5 of total. Okay, so here you've told me what you can see, which is okay, but that won't get you more than a 6.5. Okay, what you need to do to get the high score bands is this idea of comparing and contrasting. So you want to be coming out with the kind of language like you're good at maths, something like rice and corn combined were represented or amounted to 5 times less than barley, or something like that, or wheat and sugar together totaled X% of the pie chart, which was roughly similar to the amount of cotton. So you're going to have to get those comparisons going in there. I'm going to send you a link which I think will help you. So your writing's lovely, but I'm just trying to show you what the examiner wants. So this is great, okay, but you're telling me what you can see. You need to do more than that. You need to group and compare, okay? Otherwise, fine. It's just practice in getting it in an IELTS shape. Yeah. Okay. Some people believe employees should stay in the same job for the rest of their lives. Others think they should switch. Okay. When discussing any employee in an industry, it's necessary to highlight the difference between a job and a career. Okay. While some members of the workforce may be willing to remain in a stable job for a large proportion of their lives, others may no comma there. Others may find that a static position within a business may ultimately not contribute towards their career in the long term. It's also important to define that an employee may change jobs. I would argue you don't need that. Okay. This is lovely. Really, really nice start. I'm interested. I want to read on. Lovely. To find an employee may change job multiple times. As such, develops their career set. Yeah. I don't think you need that. I mean, yes, it's an interesting comment, but you haven't got time to write that, so I would cut that. From my perspective, I strongly advocate for employees to maintain their interview skills and obtain the fairest remunerations for their skills by engaging internal and external opportunities for advancement where possible. I mean, that I don't think is relevant. I don't think that's relevant either, Will. So we're talking about, should they switch jobs? We're not really talking about interview skills. Be really careful that you totally answer this question only. Should they switch jobs? So advocate for employees to, let's have to, maintain their skills. Let's just go literally, maintain, let's keep that, their skills, and then come into here. So I would cut that. Okay. Maintain their skills by engaging in internal and external opportunities for advancement where possible. Lovely. I mean, that works really nicely. This essay will seek to discuss this. Either discuss this or seek to discuss this in the context of professional development. Okay, lovely. Super. So, yeah, you can see what I'm doing. While it's possible to point towards certain social contexts, for instance, in Japan, where loyalty to a company was once highly revered by the populace, I go with the workforce, because keep it connected to the vocabulary of work, and the hiring organisation often went to great lengths to instill a sense of company pride and satisfaction. Hang on a minute, let me breathe here, okay? While it's possible to point towards certain social contexts in Japan, workforce, my loyalty was once remote staff. I think you might have to lose that This is no longer the norm for 21st century. Okay. It's difficult to break that sentence, but it's also too long. So you've got multiple relative clauses going on in here. Okay. So I think you could take out that because you've got a sense of you could have lifelong. If you just put in that word lifelong there, I think that does the job of this clause here. This is no longer the norm. Okay, good. Even within Japan, this dynamic is rapidly shifting towards a more mobile workforce as employers focus on their own development and quality of life in return for time they can contribute towards a business. And time they contribute, time they commit, maybe? Contribute time. We're more likely to commit time to something than contribute time to something. I'm thinking of the best collocation. Commit towards a business. Towards it was really there towards their employers. Maybe have that there instead. Okay, but very nice paragraph, and I like how you've got it in the context of Japan. That does the job of your example, so great work there. Much of this change in perspective is facilitated by the infrastructure of social media and the vast interconnectivity and freedom of movement offered by integration of global economies, as opportunities for career development become more affordable and accessible to a growing middle class. A great example of this is the introduction of online university courses for employees that are undertaking shift work, allowing them to complete degrees with a level of flexibility not previously offered to many. Okay. Furthermore, platforms such as LinkedIn have provided many juniors with opportunities for advancement that may not be available within their own organization. As they move from one company to another. This is fantastic, but I'm conscious of the fact that I think in a few of the essays you've done so far, you have not totally addressed the question. Okay, I really recommend it, I think, just to take the time to totally understand this question. So, should you stay all your life? That has to be one paragraph. Should you change? That has to be the other paragraph in this question. Okay, it's not which do you agree with. It's yes, you should stay because you can move up the company and you can get lots more money and your pension fund is amazing and you have job security. Lovely. No, you should go because, of course, it's more fun and you can be more dynamic and you might get more money and you might learn more. So you need one paragraph on each. So here, yes, you should stay. Make sure this is absolutely clear. Here, no, okay, you can go. That's fine. So, but you need to just finish off this paragraph with this idea of as they move. So just get in this idea here. So this will happen when they move. Okay, then you're okay. Just really make sure you're on the question, Will. Now, in our modern context, it's incredibly important for employees to remain agile and acquire transferable skills that will enable them to work and be paid a fair salary for their talent. The key determinant of this is the acquisition of professional development in the chosen career. As such, it's my opinion that it's important to continue searching for opportunities wherever they arise. Searching for professional opportunities wherever they arise, and refuse to become complacent or stagnant. Yeah, lovely, lovely. You've got some great opinions, and I really enjoy reading your writing. My only advice is just make sure you're with this. Yeah. Make sure you're on the question all the time, because that is 25% of the marks. So I sent you the mark scheme, so you've got 25% for have you answered the question, 25% for the coherence, that's lovely, how it flows is excellent, 25% for the grammar, which is really nice. You could throw in for me some conditionals, yeah. Here you could get in that may not have been available. You could get in a nice passive there. I would put that in there to get extra grammar points, and obviously your vocabulary is lovely. Okay, I know it's not how you're used to writing, and it's probably quite restrictive for you, but IELTS is a really restrictive kind of exam, I'm afraid. But that's a lovely, lovely rating. Super good. Really, really good. Okay, a very uninteresting line graph. Alcohol consumption, 76 to 2011. Gosh, I'm surprised it's not different. Okay. So the line graph illustrates the continuous data set of alcohol consumption between the UK between 76 and 2001. Okay. You could paraphrase this if you can, or if you think of it. Okay, so the data set of how much alcohol, or how, yeah, alcohol, whoops, was, oh, spelling, sorry, was drunk, literally drunk, or consumed. Just try not to use exactly the same words as they've used over how many year period, whatever the years are. From preliminary glance, it's evident that there was a trend of just go. There was a steady increase in. Just go. There was a steady increase between. Yeah, all data collected indicates that remained within. Yep, good. Okay, nice. So from first glance is where you could put overall, but that's fine. Of note, 83 represents the lowest point of consumption within it, so you don't need to have that. This is just adding in words. A trough at 9 per capita, and an inflection point where alcohol use had previously appeared to be on the decline. Lovely, but would thereafter increase. That's lovely. Really like that. I love your use of would in there. That's super. To peak, really nice. Small visible slowing. So there was, so past tense, keep that consistent in the upward trend around 97 where the increase in alcohol consumption. So increase in, so we're just kind of repeating this the whole time. So mix it up with the amount drunk per person. So this is what they're going to be marking you on as well, is your paraphrasing, saying things in lots of different ways. Stalled. However, a true decline will not occur until after 2004, where a sharp decrease was revealed in contrast to previous dips. Okay, you don't need to say that. Okay, if the trend were to continue in any fashion, it would imply, well, I mean, yes, lovely, but no, because you cannot give any personal opinion. Okay, no personal opinion or speculation. Sorry, you you can't do that. But what is your word count? Your word count 175. You're okay there. You're okay. Yeah. Or you could make a comparison, something between the start point and the end point. Um, but otherwise, that looks really, really nice. I mean, you know how to do this much more beautifully than I do. All I can do is tell you what IELTS want. But that's really, really nice. Good, good, good task, Tim. You're on it. I'm excited about you and this test. Now sort out this one for me, and then I will check it for you as a priority. Many, many thanks. Well done.